Welcome back to another edition of the podcast. This is episode 35.
Got it right.
First time in, 3 weeks?
No, you got last week's right.
All right, cool. You being generous. You being generous. Got that KD episode going. But yeah, yo, it's been a lot going on. But before we jump in, just want to say thank you for tuning in. It's appreciated, as always. And, you know, like I always like to say, or we like to say, share it with a friend. But, you know, got to do our wellness checks. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I mean, could be better.
You picked up some new swag, I see.
Well, I represent our home team.
Who your favorite player?
Who my favorite player? On the Sixers?
Mm-hmm.
Who my favorite player on the Sixers?
Crickets.
Who said I got a favorite player on the Sixers?
Well, who's your guy?
Huh?
If you could do a meet and greet with one guy on the Sixers right now, who would it be?
I guess it would be Ben.
Why?
Why? You know, with these questions, Ben probably because I think that he one of the ones that make them go.
What does that mean?
Huh? What do it mean?
Yeah.
I think he run the team pretty well. I'm just a Philadelphia fan.
I want to hear more about your take on Ben real quick. What you like about his game, what you dislike about his game?
Everybody, he don't shoot enough.
Not everybody, you.
Okay. No, I'm just saying. Most people say they want him to shoot more.
You want him to shoot more?
I would like for him to take a couple more shots. And try to hit it. It might open up a little bit more for him. If he become more of a threat, that'll open up more for him.
What do you think that he's really good at?
What do I think that he's good at? I think that he's pretty good. I think getting the ball to people. I think that he's pretty good at that.
Mm-hmm. He's a good passer, facilitator.
Yeah.
He's good in the open court.
Yeah.
There are times where I agree he definitely should look to score a little bit. Like I was watching the Toronto game. Like one time he beat his guy. The help kind of came, and Lowry did slide over. So I'm still a little bit indecisive about how I feel about it. But I felt like he maybe could have shot the little floater over, you know. Right. He's 6'10", Lowry might be 5'10", you know.
Yeah.
But he kicked it out. But I think he had his mind made up that once he saw the help rotating, he was going to make the kick out. So it was like a LeBron situation where he makes the right pass. I want Ben to, from time to time, force it a little bit more.
But you got to remember, LeBron will take a shot. So, you know, LeBron puts the ball up.
I mean now, but...
He's been putting the ball up quite a bit.
Oh, man, you contradicting what you used to say.
What?
About him passing too much. But I'm going to leave that there.
Okay. You said I said LeBron passed too much?
Yeah.
I never said LeBron passed too much.
If we call Art, he'll say something differently.
No, he won't.
Yes, he will. But I'm going to leave that there.
For
y'all that don't, go ahead.
What I said that LeBron do at times, he let other people take over the game when he should be really keeping the ball in his hands a little bit more. Even like what I would say sometimes, like, and this was years ago when I seen that. Now he may not do that as much now. But like I remember the year that they were playing Boston, and it was a rookie. I can't remember his name because it was that long ago. He started letting him because he was having a good game.
Gibson is who you're referring to, I think.
No, that wasn't his name. I can't remember, but it was
in Cleveland.
No, yeah, he was in Cleveland at this time.
Gibson. It had Mo Williams.
I can't remember who it was. I just remember them playing Boston that game, and I can't really remember who it was because it wasn't a person. It wasn't Gibson. It was just somebody that stepped up for a game. You know, he was just having a good game. It wasn't a person like had good games all the time. Yeah, he had a high. No, but LeBron took himself out of the picture. So where he wasn't even like sometimes even if you put the ball is in your hand, some people gonna come to you. They're gonna look at you because they know what you're gonna do. Mm-hmm. But if you go away from it, then it's not gonna be there.
Gotcha. let you off the hook.
Okay.
You did a good job explaining there. I get you. But yeah, had a pretty good week. These weeks been feeling long, man. I'm drained.
Your weeks feel like long weeks?
Yeah.
I feel like time is just flying, man.
Oh, well, lucky you. But yeah, a lot of things been happening in the news this week that kind of caught my eye. You want to start with a positive story?
Go ahead.
Or you want to start with a not so happy story?
Go either way you want to go with it, because even
either way, I'm asking, pick one.
Because you can find joy and happy in any way you go with both of them.
All right, I'm gonna start with a positive one. All right, with the positive one that I was happy. So, the Philadelphia Auto Show is a pretty big deal. I guess they travel from city to city, usually in Philly, like late January, early February. But a student from Franklin Learning Center, a senior, Nyjah Williams, won the 2020 Auto Show poster competition. So her graphic that she put together will be displayed in and around the auto show and in different advertisements. But it was just a great, it really made my day. It was very heartwarming seeing how happy she was, how happy people around her school was. And it's just a great example of potential careers out there in graphic design.
Yeah, that was a nice design too. But the whole school get to go.
She won
tickets for all of them, right?
She won tickets for her entire class.
And
they hooked her up with a MacBook Pro. That was dope, and they liked her design because it really fit the theme of the auto show.
Right. Because
it had a vintage look, but also futuristic at the same time. And, they have cars from, the guy said, 1920s and 2020s.
Right,
so,
right, yeah.
The design really fit, it really covered the landscape of all the cars that are present at the show. So, congrats to her.
It was really nice, though. I really liked the design.
Yeah, I was I wish I could draw that.
You can pull it up and show it on that?
Yeah, I can have it pop up on the screen.
Yeah, that would be nice.
If I can figure that out. But no, I know how to do it.
I know you know how to do it.
But yeah, shout out to her again. And Nyjah Williams from FLC. Yo, your claps on point this week. Last week, your claps didn't have any rhythm to it. It was like...
I can tell you...
All right, but another story that went viral had to do with former St. Joe's prep guard and NBA point guard Delonte West. So, Delonte West is probably most notoriously known for his incident in Cleveland. I'm going to just say that.
Okay, yeah.
Right, I'm going to just say that. But, this past week, he was in Maryland, and... He's got into an altercation with some guy, but a video went viral of him being interviewed afterwards by a police officer when it happened. And come to find out, the police officer is the one who recorded it. And, Delonte just isn't in good shape right now. He looks kind of gone, we'll say.
Yeah.
And, a lot of times people post videos like this to try to get laughs. And... for amusement. But one thing that kind of restored my faith in humanity was that a lot of people didn't find the video funny or amusing. You kind of felt bad for Delonte. You wanted him to get some help. And then a lot of, the kind of the thumbnail for videos that you see circulating show him, his son, and I don't know if it's his wife, girlfriend, or, the mother of his child. And so one thing a lot of people don't realize is when you have a person that's in that condition, it's more than just that person being affected. And you might laugh because, he had this fall from grace, but there's nothing funny about it because it's more than just Delonte being affected. And if you're a human who cares about others, you won't find that amusing at all. So I'm at least happy that that police department did suspend that officer.
Right, yeah, that was good, yeah.
So at least they're holding him accountable somewhat. Whether or not a suspension is appropriate punishment. I don't know if it should be more severe or not. I'm happy some steps were taken because it's definitely something to be that needed to be done.
Yeah, I mean, because I mean, what the cop, I can't understand what the cop was getting out of doing that.
He thought he was the cool cop, getting up there, messing around with Delonte West, former NBA superstar. Ha ha ha! I'm the big shot police officer. Let's laugh at Delonte.
Well, you do have police officers like that,
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I guess because he knew Delonte too,
Mm-hmm.
because like I was saying, he from around that area, not far, like where he from. That's right there. Because I remember people talking about that place when they was going there. Like some people were saying when they get out, that's where they was going at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so it's ever since that Cleveland incident, I think Delonte has always kind of had, jokes and stuff following wherever he's gone.
Yeah.
But I think that the state he's in now isn't anything to joke about. Like, in 2015 he talked about, having bipolar disorder issues and things like that. And a lot of people take for granted mental health, or they overlook it, or they just simply don't understand the impacts that like your mental health can have on your life. And this is a case in point. So I was happy to see a lot of different organizations and people from like the NBA reaching out, offering support.
Yeah.
So hopefully someone does grab a hold of Delonte and help him get back on his feet, because besides him getting himself together, for him, he has a son. And that son's going to need his father. I strongly believe that. And so, I really hope, even if it's not for Delonte, for the sake of his son, that someone helps him and Delonte helps himself.
Well, his family.
Get back on his feet.
But I was just glad to see the people step up and to give him support with it.
Yeah.
His coach, different players, So that was like real good, And he probably got some other friends. So let's keep it positive and think that he's gonna get the help that he needs.
Another big story this week happened with the Kansas versus Kansas State game. Have you seen any footage?
No, I didn't see the footage of that.
Oh, buddy. All right, so here's what happened. Kansas was up like, we gonna call it 30. With like 5 seconds left. So they try and dribble out the clock. Kansas State player steals the ball. 5 seconds left in the game. Steals the ball, goes to try to dunk, right?
Right.
Kansas player swats it and then walks over top of my dude. Probably chirped at him a little bit. Players come, clear the benches. There's a lot of shoving. You got some punches thrown. You had one Kansas player pick up a stool.
Bruh.
I don't know if he swung it or not, but it was it's not what you want to see, especially at a basketball game.
Definitely not.
It was a straight brawl. But I'm like, why people keep messing with Kansas though? This is the second time this year Kansas was up like 30 with seconds left, and someone stole the ball and tried to go get that dunk. Like, from a coach perspective, if I'm on that losing team, I'm disappointed in my guys to begin with.
Definitely.
Like, it's like, yo, just dribble it out. We just got to get out of here. Like, what do you get internally out of a dunk? Like, oh, I cut it to 28, coach. I had to do it for us. It's like, it just looks bad. They're dribbling out the clock. They're not trying to run it up to 32 on you.
Right.
They just trying to let you go home.
The horn play. The game is over. It's definitely over.
And it's the second time it's happened to Kansas. So, my opinion, dude that blocked it, I'd have stepped over him too. Like, oh, what are you doing? But at the same time, it's like, maybe you should have got the block and just walked off and left it there. Right?
Yeah.
Because, hindsight is always 20/20. Like, you can look back. If you know that's the end result, just be like, all right, maybe I wouldn't walk over him. Maybe I just get the block and go back, get in lines, and shake it up.
It was only 5 seconds left. I might even let him have.
Yeah, that's what I said the first time it happened. Because the first game, someone did this to Kansas, right? Dude went down there and dunked, but he dunked on the person trying to chase him down. The shot blocker wasn't in pursuit the first time this happened. So dude got dunked on. I was like, yo, he definitely should have let him have it because now he on a poster somewhere.
So let me see. What would you do? Would you?
I was who?
If the ball got stolen, would you went down and tried to block it or try
if I'm chasing, I might trot down after him, just out of like instinctively, but like I'm not gonna go super hard and try to get a block.
You know, that's
like, but at the same time, like depending on if I'm really thinking about it, like, yo, what is he doing? I might not even sprint back because, like I said before, you know, when we talked about the first time this happened to Kansas, I wouldn't even have gone down there to get the ball, you know. And if the clock, let's say the clock stopped or whatever, because I'm not sure if it stops in the second half in college anymore. I can't remember, but I would take, even if we had to come back down there and inbound it, I would take super long walking down there. I'm just like, oh, you wanted to drag this game out? All right.
You know, like the thing is, like, you know what? It's kind of funny too because, you know, you taught to play 40 minutes, so you supposed to go hard for 40 minutes, you know. But who really go hard for 40 minutes? So I think I would have just let him had a layup, had a dunk, and then you know what, like you said,
because he gonna look stupid at the end of the day,
you know.
Like,
yeah, I mean. You know, like I'm saying, that's something, you know, and just for all that to start over some stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I got on one of my players on, I think it might have been like our first or second, it might have been our first league game of the year. And, you know, we were up like 16 or something. Then there was only under 10 seconds left. Team had the ball at the last possession, and he stole it. And I'm just like, for what? First of all, you ain't steal it from one of their better ball handlers. Like, you were struggling playing defense all night. Like, you know, like, you steal it from this kid? Like, really? Like, so I ripped him. Like, that's not what we do. So, you know, it's hard because unless you have moments like that as a teaching moment, your players might not think, like, oh, I shouldn't do this here. Like, it's almost like when you're training your dog, you got to let them mess up so that you can let them know not to do that.
Yeah.
You know, because, like, as a coach, when you're going over things, preparing for, you're not going to say, guys, if, you know, it's 10 seconds, they're dribbling out the clock, don't steal it. Like, you don't think about having those conversations with your team. You just expect from them watching basketball, if they watch, that they would kind of know time and place, right?
Right. I mean, you're right about that. That's why I said, you know what? Until, like, you really in that position, what you do. Now, like, you know, I always say you want your players to play hard the entire time on the court. Yeah. So if he do something, and you know what? And still, so when you handling the ball, you still got to protect the ball.
Yeah.
You know, my thing was when I used to do that, like when the game was almost on line and I'm just dribbling out, then the last few seconds, I throw the ball high in the air. So by the time it come down, the horn's going to blow anyway.
Yeah.
You know, or you know what? I mean, it's just certain things to do like that. But like I said, when you tell them, like, can you really fault them? I mean, I probably would have let him go ahead and had a dunk.
Yeah, I probably would too. But I just think at the D1 level, you know better.
Yeah.
You know better.
Yeah. But for the person, you know, you look at the person that stole the ball. You know, why is he really going to steal the ball?
That's who my main issue is.
But I'm still saying, you know, you supposed to play the whole time.
Yeah, I know, but it's like, I think there's caveats to that.
I understand what you're saying, but, you know, I just had to really look at it. And he was thinking, man, I can get 2 more points here. Yeah, you know what I mean?
He might have been trying to get his career high. Who knows?
Yeah, right.
But I know one thing, that block was nasty. Like, my man came up, when I tell you he blocked it, he blocked it.
You know, I can't remember what it is. I think I seen it on the news. I can't remember what team it was. When one of the players fell down and the other guy just kicked him in the chest, man. I can't remember what it was. This happened this week too. I can't remember.
College?
You know what? I'm trying to think it was the pros or something. Because you know what? I just caught the glimpse of it on the news. Like, you know, because like before I go to work, like like before I go to work, I only get to catch a little bit of news because like from like 4:30 or 5 o'clock, I only get that look because of how early I gotta leave. So I try to catch it, but it showed, and I never heard no more about it. And when you first started mentioning what happened like that, I was saying, was that it? And then I said, no, it was the guy. I mean, he got kicked out of the game. I think it was the NBA. I think he might got fined. I think I'm gonna have to try to look that up.
So, question for you: would you have stolen the ball?
Would I have stolen the ball?
Yeah. I'll say you ain't playing hard for 40.
I know. That's what I'm just saying. I'm
There's
just
caveats
saying
to it.
That's what I'm just saying. Like, you know what? The game is over.
There's exceptions to the rule.
It ain't like, you know what? Like, no, I wouldn't have ran down there. I wouldn't have did it. The game is over.
Yeah, somebody stole the ball from you.
If he stole the ball from me, the game over. You know, it's over.
Yeah, I agree.
You know,
I think so. I think you gotta, some things to learn from this is you gotta have some class, man. Like, no,
that's what it is. Yeah, that's
know
what it is.
the situation, like the situational aspect of the moment, right? Know the situational aspect of the moment is what I'm gonna say about that.
You know, it's funny, and you talk about this. Like, you know what? Like, one game, like we was in a championship game, and I'm getting ready. I got this fast break and the layup, right? And this guy calling me. You know, now this would have put me over the 40 mark, right? And the guy called me because he wanted to dunk. You know, I gave him the ball back so he can dunk. Because it didn't really matter. The game was really over. He wanted to dunk. You know, I could have had 2 points that would have put me 41 in this championship game. But you know what? I give it to him. You know, because he wanted it more than me. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean. The game is over. Now, you know, what if I threw it back or he'd have missed it and we'd have lost the game or something?
Yeah.
Then that would have been something else. But the game was over. It didn't matter.
Yeah, and it's you know, you gotta keep your composure. Like a little healthy shoving match is okay, but a brawl should never happen. It's like, for me, a basketball game is never that serious.
No.
Like, it's never that serious. Like, I was coaching this past weekend, players were they were chirping a little bit, right? And so, you know, in like the final minute or so of the game, like one of their players was going at one of our players that was on the bench or something. So I knew it was a chance for some funny business in the lines. So I guess one of the other team's players got ready to, you know, pop off, and they got his guy. And I just told our guys, yo, everybody to the locker room.
That was after the game. They was ready to go at it still. Huh?
Yeah, and I just told them, like, everybody locker room, shook their coach hand. I'm like, we out of here. Yeah. And so it's never that, like, I'm not gonna fight you over a basketball game, and especially like everybody wants, like, at younger ages, you know, people want to be the tough guy. Like, really no sense. Like, what I gotta be tough for? Like, I hold my own. Like, if you try to, you know, shove me on the court, like, hey, I'm gonna get you back. But it was the funniest moment in the game was we were on defense. It was a baseline inbound, like under their basket, right. And one of my players, one of my favorite kids that I've coached, because he kind of had a rough start to the season. Just like confidence wasn't there. Like, I think playing organized ball under the lights, like, you have trouble remembering certain sets. Then I got my app now where I can, you know, animate plays, and he got it now, right? So now he's just playing free. But this kid is like one of the happiest kids ever. Like, I try to intimidate him in practice. He just starts laughing. Like, he's one of those guys. So he's guarding the dude on the block, right? And he's just standing there with his hands up, like, basically face guarding him, right? Dude keeps, like, shoving him back blatantly, right? Ref's right there, keeps shoving him. And so then the ref comes over there and say, hey, cut that shoving out, right? You know what my player does? When the ref walks over and had me down, he was like he went right back to his pose, and he was laughing the whole time it was happening. Like, each shove, he just started laughing.
Oh, when the guy was shoving him, he just laughing.
I think they kept making the dude even madder.
Right, that's what you do.
So I kind of had like a proud moment, because I just was like, he's not mad. He's like, he can't get into his head. Like, my player,
but he getting into his head.
Yeah, and he had his hand straight up in position. Like, he wasn't. You know how sometimes people try to invade upon your space.
Right.
No, he just was standing there, hand straight up. So when the ref was walking over, when his hand shot up, I almost started dying laughing.
Oh, when he shot him back up.
like biggest smile ever. But it was just funny because like I thought he handled that really well, and that was like my second point. Like, keep your composure. Like, just because someone starts chirping at you, like, you never have to say anything back. I always waited till I made a play, and then I might give you that look. And you chirping at me, and I drain that three, and then on the way back down the court, I'm just looking at you like this, just stoic.
It's funny, like when you say that, like see, I guess the experiences teach you that, because I remember a guy elbowed me in the face, right, and I elbowed him back in the face, and I got caught, right. My coach yanked me out of the game and you know how my coach was. Coach Britton was, right? He was wild. He'd get all in what he talking about. He taking your game. You know what? I was taught to do that. That's what I was taught playing. If somebody bow you bow them back. Yeah. But then no, it's other ways to get to him. So when I got back in the game, I scored a couple of times on him, and I started talking to him. Yeah. Talking to him, whistling in his head.
It's a way to do it. Like, you don't gotta go over and above. Like, we had one kid on Thursday, right? He's playing against the school. They got a kid that gets like 19 a game, right? And so I put together little scouting reports for my boys whenever I can. And dude, like, wasn't doing nothing early, really, right? Because he can shoot the three ball. Like, if he's set and can line it up,
right,
probably gonna be cash. But when he gets the ball, he's really looking for a driving lane. So as long as we take away those driving lanes, he's going to have to kill us shooting the three off the dribble, which isn't really his game. He's kind of catch and shoot, catch, face up, maybe wait for your hand to go down and then pull, right? So I see my player, like, trying to, when you get somebody a bump when they come down court.
Right.
I'm like, bro, what are you doing? I'm like, you need to get down here so you can help. So we taking away these driving lanes. That's where they're going to kill us at. He's like, I didn't want him to get the ball. I'm like, for what? He hasn't scored yet. Like, you might got, what, he got one basket? Like, what are you doing? So, staying mentally locked in. And a lot of that goes to just teaching guys to keep their composure, especially in the moment, quote unquote, the moment. That's one of the hardest things to do. And, I was talking about this game in particular, this Kansas State game. Sometimes it's better just let your game and the scoreboard speak for itself. Like, when dude went down there and dunked, you can just point it up like, cool, you got your two, buddy? You good now? like, there's a lot of ways you can do it. A lot of other ways to make a statement. And, I don't mind my man chasing down, getting a block. I think it's great that he got the block because that was an exclamation point in itself. Well, but then the taunt might have been a little much. I just think keep your composure and stay classy.
You know what else I would say about that? The guy for stealing the ball, too. And once he stole the ball, God, might have said it might just been a reaction, like you said. I'm gonna catch this now for you trying to do that. It's like you do or you don't. That's why I said it's happy and sad in both of them.
It's like, or get the block. Before the game when you got the coaches and captains, what they always tell you in the beginning: you celebrate with your team. You celebrate with your team. You don't go to that whole thing. It's like one of those. Get the block and run back with your boys and be like, I got your back, homie.
I mean, like what you said, just be class and don't say nothing at all. That one thing get me about the gays game. You know what? It's more crying I watch games. It's a lot of crying. They cry, man.
Yeah, I told you my favorite way. I used to talk trash, right? I would talk trash indirectly. So let's say I'm guarding you, right? And let's say you can't get the ball up the court. I'll go turn around to my boy like, yo, I got this. Like, I'm like, yo, he can't dribble. Like, this mine right here. Yeah. And that makes people even more mad than you saying it to their face at times. So, like, I love mind games in basketball. Or, like, in basketball, I used to, like, let's say I got by my man and got in the lane, right? Earl used to play on the block. You know what I do? I look at Earl, I'm like, yo, all day. I'm like, Earl, I'll be down here all day. And next thing I know, I hear a dude suck his teeth or something or try to give me a little bump. And at that moment, I'm like, got him.
Yeah. Well, like, that's all in the game. Mm-hmm. Whether you talking directly to him or indirectly, like you said, you got to keep your composure. Yeah. Like, that's even in life. That's even in life. Like with composure. Like I was telling you a little bit earlier, what the thing was, like, the other night, I really lost my composure. Mm-hmm. It was like when I was saying it was really my mistake, but at the time I didn't see it and I really didn't. But like I had to go back and really apologize too because it was really me. But when I really seen it, when somebody asked me what happened, why did this? And like I said, I don't even really know what happened. I said, but then like when I started looking at it, I was definitely wrong all the way.
Mm-hmm.
I was wrong from the first moment, and I'm the one that lost the composure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's important.
It is important.
Gotta keep
It
your
is
cool.
important.
I think now is a good time to take a break, and we'll be right back. Thank you for listening to the No Stopping Kev Show. Among our core values are growth and development. If you would like us to help you grow your brand and develop new relationships, reach out to us via email at nostoppingkev@gmail.com. We would love to partner with you. Now let's get back to the show. All right, we back. Da-na-na-na-na. That's a Chance the Rapper reference.
Oh.
You probably didn't catch that. That
No, I
probably
didn't
went
catch
right
that.
over your little head.
Huh? What you doing, man?
No, you ain't catch it. You ain't hear me?
No, I ain't.
All right, cool. We're going to keep it moving right along. So, in other news this week, I'm a big Duke fan. We know this. You know this?
No, go ahead.
You ain't?
Huh?
You don't know I'm a big Duke fan?
Why don't I know you? I bought you Duke jackets and everything. How many Duke basketballs you had when we used to go down?
Oh, yeah, go to Wildwood. I used to always be like, yo, let me get that Duke ball.
Yeah.
And I had that big Duke baseball jacket. I can't even fit that thing, but I used to wear it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I've been knowing you with a Duke fan. You've been a Duke fan since you were a little boy.
Yeah. And so, one of the greatest Duke players of all time, who also played probably one of the fewest Duke games of all time, is Kyrie Irving. Kyrie, over the years, has proven to say some dumb stuff. Right? Like, oh, the earth is flat. It's like, Kyrie, we have pictures from outer space of the earth. It's not flat, my friend. And then, Kyrie later was like, listen, man, sometimes I'll start going down these conspiracy videos, and you just end up going down a rabbit hole, and it never stops. Took it back. Retraction. I'm like, come on, Kyrie, you going to make Duke lose some credibility. Like, what they teaching you there? You listen to Kyrie speak. Very intelligent guy. All right? Like, listen to him. He knows a thing or two. But this week, guess what Kyrie did?
What'd he do?
He said some more dumb stuff.
What did he say?
Here's what he said, right? He said that the Brooklyn Nets, mind you, this was like after his first game back. My man been out for I don't know how long. Feel like he only played like 3 games this whole season. He's like, yeah, I still feel like we're missing, 1 or 2 pieces. We're still 1 or 2 pieces away from being a contender to win the championship. Nothing wrong with that statement, right? Although once they get KD back, they're going to be tough to beat regardless.
That's what I'm saying.
But then Kyrie continues and say, me, KD, DeAndre Jordan, Garrett Temple, a couple other players, the core, we need some people to complement that. Karis LeVert. What about the people you ain't named, though, bro? That's working their tail off day in and day out. That's out there filling in while you out with your shoulder injury. Like, so this isn't the first time Kyrie's leadership has been in question. In Boston, he wasn't the leader for that young locker room. Couldn't do it. Remember they had turmoil last season.
Right.
Got him out of there. They're doing well. Them young guys playing. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, getting buckets alongside Kemba and Gordon Hayward. They meshing well. When he was in Cleveland, he was kind of like a baby at times.
Right.
It's like,
I'm saying, yeah, that's why I could see him saying things like what he said.
Yeah, and it's just like, dude, you just, like, do you realize you just threw a handful of guys under the bus? You basically was like, yeah, I don't care about them. They could be here today, gone tomorrow. Just get me another shooter. Give me somebody to play some defense so I don't have to.
That's all.
And so from a leadership standpoint, you don't want that. You always make, whether it's your number 2 guy or your 15 guy, feel valued. Whether it's in practice or in games.
Right, because it's going down as a team. You're going down as a team.
Like I was telling my guys this week, because when you're young and if you've never really been held accountable, that can be a step in growth, right? So a lot of times when I watch young guys play or young teams, if there's a mistake made, they might start pointing a finger at somebody, right? Or everybody might start coming down on one person. And so I told them a story about when I was playing in high school. You know my boy Jameer? He was the man. Jameer sometimes would throw some passes that were a little tough to handle, right? Be having all these weird spins. And sometimes Jameer's passes would be off the mark, right? And so every now and then he might throw you one and it might get away from you, right, out of bounds, turnover. Right. You know what I would do? Even if he put the pass off the mark, I would like, yo, my bad. And then you know what Jameer would do? No, that's me, right? What does that show you about a team? Like, I'm not gonna put the blame on you because I'm thinking about maybe I could have been in a better spot to catch that ball. We weren't on the same page. Jameer's probably thinking, yeah, I probably put a little too much on that. Either way, we're like, yo, next play, let's get this back. Versus throwing your guys under the bus. You know, as a team, it's still time on the clock. We still got a game to try to win here. So you got to stick together. And so that was like one of the big lessons to my team because I hate when they're coming off the court, going at a guy, or they're saying, you know, one guy isn't good defensively. It's like, well, you never in help. Like, you never in help either. So you bad defensively too. His on-ball defense might suck, but your off-ball help defense is terrible. You know, so it's like one of those things where you're teaching them. And I'm telling them, I was like, yo, if Earl got caught out on my man on a switch, right, I was automatically in help because I knew that's not his strong suit. So a team is all about, you know, complimenting each other. So unless you can do that, your team's going to be destined to fail.
You know, and like that when I'm talking about like now too, you know, like the crying, like you said, the blame on somebody else. Mm-hmm. You know, like, you know, it's got, you know, you got to encourage them. Even if you did, or at the bad pass or something like that, yo, just put them back and just say, you know, good, nice try. Say nice try, something, you know.
Like one thing I've learned as a coach is, especially in games, you kind of got to be next play at times. Like there are times where you got to rip a guy. But then there's times where like my player who's, you know, he had to kind of build his confidence up, and now he's been balling. Like my man this guy?
Yeah.
Like it was his first game. We put him out there. I think he was the first guy off the bench. I told him, I was like, yo, you can be the first guard off the bench tomorrow. I just want you to go out there and play free. And the ball just kept slipping through his hands right there. Like he was having trouble controlling the ball. And after each one, I knew I didn't want him to start thinking, like, I'm going to get pulled because I ain't catch the ball. Like, it wouldn't end up in a turnover. Like, sometimes we got lucky, the jump ball was ours. But I told him, I was like, yo, you good? Keep playing. That way, I didn't want him thinking that. Right. It was funny because one time he came in a timeout, right? He was, like, kind of freaking out. This kid is hilarious. He was like, yo, the ball is so slippery. Like, I don't know what's going on. This is the middle of a 30-second timeout, and I'm just like, you done, bro? Like, like, can I go now? But I love that kid. But, yeah, like, it's just like, what is Kyrie doing to the locker room? Like, that has to kill chemistry.
Well, you know, the good thing, I mean, what I hope that some people can overlook it and not take it and just realize what he said and just keep playing.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do. Because, you know, Kyrie already believe Kyrie is already a star. He already is there. So, you know, you can expect, and like you said, from Cleveland to Boston. So you can expect something to come out of his mouth like that. And, you know, the funny thing about sometimes the press will bring that out in you.
That's what I was about to say, too. I'm like, if you're a good leader, right? Because you got to always think, and that's why like LeBron's really good at answering certain questions. KD, Westbrook, they know when the media is kind of fishing.
Right.
So they know how to kind of respond in a way that's like, I know what you're trying to do. It ain't happening. Like, next question. Or they might just say, next question.
Right.
Or it's like, no more questions from this guy. But, you know, a good leader would say, you know, hey, I think we're one or two pieces away from being a true contender in the finals. We just got to keep working day in and day out to try to get better so that we all can get better as a team and individually. Leave it there. Because your message is like, all right, I think front office needs to go out and try to bring some guys in. But I'm not going to single out guys that I think are weak links.
Right,
you know, you kind of build that cohesion and you let the chips fall where they may. So I think that's something that needed to be kind of done there.
I can agree with that. I can agree. Like you don't want to tear your players down or your teammates. They battle. They as a team, they battling for him.
Right, 100%.
Now I ain't gonna get the rebound and toss it out to him. You know what I mean? I'm gonna let somebody else come get that ball now. So that hurts the team. Like you said, that hurts the team.
Yeah, it definitely hurts that chemistry and cohesion.
Yeah,
cohesiveness.
But sometimes you gotta realize that suck it up, even though it hurt. You just gotta suck it up and just keep playing.
Yeah, we gotta get ready to wrap up this episode. But I think some key takeaways from what we learned this week is think before you speak. Think about the impact it has on those around you. Keep your composure on the court, off the court, on your job, in the classroom, at home. Keep your composure and really try to think. Think before you act. It's not always easy, but think before you act. And again, think before you speak.
That's true too.
And then keep it classy. Stay classy. Can't beat classy. You don't watch The Office, do you?
The Office?
Yeah.
Nah.
That's my favorite TV show.
Yeah?
Yeah, all right, there's an episode where... So you got Michael Scott, Steve Carell. You know Steve Carell?
Yeah.
From Get Smart and a bunch of other movies.
Right.
So he has two top salesmen, are Jim and Dwight, right?
Right.
Jim always plays pranks on Dwight because Dwight's this weird guy, strong personality. He can hold his own. He deserves the pranks, right? They're planning like Michael's work anniversary party or something. And Jim basically says everything Dwight says, but he puts a classy spin on it. And part of it is Jim is wearing a tuxedo. So Michael goes with all of the things Jim says, even though they're the same, because Jim's keeping it classy. So stay classy, my friends. Wish I had my little suit on. No. Yeah, Dougie.
You got your suit on.
Yeah, I got my No Stopping Kev official suit on. But yeah, Dad, anything that you would like to leave the people with?
No, I'd just like to say, just share this with somebody. Let somebody know about us and just tune in.
Very well said. Where can they tune in, Dad?
That's your department.
All right, yo, so let's transfer that call over here. Thank you for tuning in to the No Stopping Kev show. Just remember, if you're telling people where to tune in, let's say you use one platform and you're like, oh, wait, you want to try some others? Here they go. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, Google Play, Stitcher, and YouTube. So share the love, people. Thanks for tuning in again. We're out.
And have a blessed week.